Have you ever had that feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Like you just somehow absorbed everyone else's stress and their pain as if it's your own? Well, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. We're about to dive into why that happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Just let that sink in for a second. The emotional recycling bin. Wow, what a phrase, right? It's such a powerful way to describe it. You're the person everyone comes to unload all their heavy stuff because they know you can handle it. I bet this sounds familiar. You're the peacemaker when things get chaotic. You're the listener when someone just needs to vent. You're the stable one, the person who offers that calm center when everyone else's world is spinning. And you know what? That is such an important role to play. But here's the thing. There's a huge personal cost to being that person. At the end of the day, after all that listening and all that supporting, you're just left feeling completely drained. It's like you've run an emotional marathon. But the crazy part is, none of those emotions were even yours to begin with. So, what if this isn't just some random personality quirk? What if it's something way deeper? Well, in Chinese philosophy, this whole tendency is a classic sign of what's called the earth element. So let's figure out if this is your elemental energy.
Believe it or not, according to the Chinese 5-element system, the kind of energy you were born with is actually connected to your birth year. It's a really fascinating idea, and you might be surprised by just how easy it is to figure yours out.
Okay, ready? It's super quick, just 2 little steps. First, just find the very last number of the year you were born. And second, if that number is an 8 or a 9, you are an Earth person. Yeah, it's really that simple. And just to make it crystal clear, have a look at some of these years. You've got 68, 69, 78, 79, all through the 80s, 90s, right up to 2018 and 2019. If your birth year ends in an 8 or a 9, well then, this is you. And I have a feeling everything we're talking about right now is hitting very close to home. Now, being an Earth person isn't a good thing or a bad thing. It's really a duality. It comes with this absolutely profound gift, a true blessing. But it also comes with a big challenge, something that can feel like a curse if you're not careful. Let's break down both sides of that coin. This really shows you that core conflict, doesn't it? On one hand, you have this incredible blessing. You're a stabilizer, a nurturer, this grounding force for everyone. But on the flip side, there's the curse. You just absorb everything, and it leaves you feeling heavy, stuck, and carrying everybody else's baggage. Let's talk more about that blessing, because it's a huge deal. As a stabilizer, you literally have this natural gravity about you. Just think about it. When things get dramatic or chaotic, you're the one who stays calm. People feel safe around you because they just know you're loyal, you're trustworthy, you can be counted on. And then there's the nurturer side of you. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's like, just like soil grows food, you help grow people. You genuinely love seeing other people succeed, and you worry about them so deeply, probably more than they even worry about themselves. So, we've talked about the gift, but we have to be real about the other side of this, because your greatest strength, when it gets out of balance, can very quickly become your greatest vulnerability. Since you're the ground, it's like everything just naturally lands on you. So you probably have a really hard time saying no, and you find yourself overthinking and worrying all the time. Now here is where it gets really interesting. In Chinese medicine, the emotion that's linked to the earth element is worry. So the more you worry, the more you actually injure your own elemental energy, which just makes you feel even heavier and more stuck. It's a vicious cycle. So, what do we do about all this? The key is not to stop being you. It's to protect the incredible gift that you have. And this is where we have to talk about the most essential skill for every single Earth person out there, the art of boundaries. I want you to really hear this metaphor. It's so important. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is absolutely necessary. Think about it. If you are the mountain, the foundation, and you're crumbling from carrying too much, how can you possibly support anyone else, let alone yourself? Your ability to nurture and to stabilize is such a beautiful and rare thing in this world. But it is not an infinite resource. It needs to be consciously protected. This means you have to learn to say no, you have to learn to let go of what isn't yours to carry, and it can start small. Just pause before you automatically say yes. Or try saying something like, I'd love to help, but I just can't take that on right now. And that brings us right to our final thought. And honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole conversation. It really all boils down to one critical question. I really want you to think about this. You spend so much of your energy being that stable ground, that unshakable rock for pretty much everyone in your life. But who is the rock for you? Who or what gives you that stability when you're the one who needs it? Because finding your own rock, that isn't just a nice to have. It is the absolute key to sustaining your beautiful earth energy. And that's something we're thinking about.